guys? It's Dion Brown, your friend, your brother, and you are watching Man vs. Brand. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to get to this video in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? I'm Dion Brown, and you are watching and or listening to Man vs. Brand. I have my football off-white hat on. Why? Because we're talking about the Super Bowl. So everybody get in here because we're going to have a dope live. Okay, so I'm doing this live. I'm not doing this with any sort of post-production aside from maybe clipping the beginning and clipping the end of the video. So what you're going to get is raw me. It's my first one on YouTube, aside from my introduction video. So let me know how this goes in the comments below. So here's what we're going to do. It is the day before Valentine's Day, and what a day to be in love. It is also the day after the Super Bowl. How do we feel about it? Did we love it? Did we not love it? From advertisements to fumble plays to the halftime show to a bad call at the end, depending on which side you're on, right? We have some thoughts around the Super Bowl. So I want to talk to you specifically about advertisement and the value of the halftime show to the artists who perform. So we're really going to do two segments in this one episode. First is man or brand math. We're going to talk about roles, brands, companies that's in the market today. And we're going to talk specifically about how they perform, what the value is, what the monetary value is. In this instance, we're going to talk about, again, the halftime show. The other segment is going to be best week, worst week, right? We're going to talk about what brands are having the worst and best week brand-wise. And for this one, we're going to talk specifically about advertisers who won or lost the Super Bowl. So let's get into it, right? Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I hope you are with family, loved ones, friends, and celebrating the most out of it. Man, here at Man vs. Brand, we love love as much as we love podcasting, coaching, and getting in front of a video, getting in front of a video and talking to you guys, man. So we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 57 just happened last night. We're super excited about it. We're also going to talk about Rihanna and that halftime performance, man. Shouts out to Fenty. Fenty definitely won the Super Bowl. The Chiefs didn't. Fenty definitely did. We're going to talk about the advertisers, right? Who won? From the cream reference with Raekwon to the Popeyes guy coming in all grown up, the Downey Unstoppables with DMX. There's some interesting things that happened. A lot of this year, in terms of advertisers, were focused on nostalgia, bringing us back to a simpler time when Clueless was a thing. I'm talking to you, Alicia Silverstone. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So I want to talk about the best week and the worst week in terms of advertisers, and I want to hear your thoughts down below. Now, I'm not going to get into it because I want you guys to go to the advertisement if you don't remember it and check it out yourself. I'm just going to give you my top 5 from 5 to 1 of the best and worst. Put your comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. And we're about to kick this off with the best. Michelob. Man, having Serena Williams in your commercial and matching that with golf won this version. It's not our number one video, but it definitely provided a nice laugh. T-Mobile. Who knew that John Travolta with a baldy would be such an attractive, I see what I did there, way of presenting a T-Mobile commercial. Now listen, he wasn't the only one in it, but he was definitely a standout for getting rid of the toupee. Amazon. There are 2 videos on our top 5 that have to do with dogs. So definitely check out the Amazon video. That thing was heartwarming. The Flash. I don't care what you say about Ezra Miller. Listen, he is having a really, really rough year because of things that he has admittedly done. He has had inappropriate relationship allegations. He has definitely gotten accused of breaking into people's houses, starting fights. There's a long list of things that Ezra Miller has done. But there's no denying that that Flash commercial won the Super Bowl. Man, Ezra Miller looked good, doing what he does best, which is acting and not getting into trouble. Shouts out for the Michael Keaton Batman and for the Supergirl with the short black bob. Maybe it wasn't a bob. Maybe it was a pixie cut. Was it a pixie cut or a bob? People that know hairstyles, let me know in the comments below. The Farmer's Dog, second video. Man, that thing was heartwarming. If you're not a dog owner, I know that you want to become one now because that commercial definitely warmed the soul like a cup of chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. Worst week. So in the worst week, we definitely have some contenders. All right. So we're going to go from 5 to 1. You may or may not agree. Let me know again in the comments what your thoughts are. The Rakuten. I mean, listen, I love Alicia Silverstone. She looked great. She was killing it in that throwback to Clueless. But I just don't know if the video was as funny and if the nostalgia sold as much as it could have. Now, she's not the worst, but she's definitely the best of the worst. Avocados from Mexico. Man, listen, I don't know about you, but that avocados from Mexico commercial was interesting. It wasn't like killer. It was, yeah, it was interesting. It definitely wasn't as entertaining. And listen, I absolutely love everyone who appeared in the commercial. Just didn't really love the commercial itself. GM, listen, we definitely had a good time with Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is a king amongst comedian actors. Didn't think that this one went so well. It's okay, but it didn't really land the way that it could have. Again, coming into the nostalgia of Netflix and some Netflix shows. I check it out. Let me know what you think. Uber One. Who doesn't love Diddy? Who doesn't love the studio? Who doesn't love Uber? All these things should come together to form a really great commercial. I thought it was meh, could have been better. From that combination, it definitely should have been in top 5. People may disagree. I just didn't love it as much as I thought I would. And finally, Pepsi. If you're going to put cream in, if you're going to put Raekwon in, sell it together as a package. Watch these rap get all up in your guts. No, that's ice cream. That's not cream. Cash rule everything around me. Cream gets the money. All right, take my card away. I definitely misquoted ice cream versus cream. It's okay. If you think that you have a better way that Pepsi could have sold that commercial, definitely let me know in the comments. So let's talk about the value. The value. Still not over the fact that I misquoted which of the creams it was. I love ice cream. That's a classic. Cash rule everything around me is definitely top 5 in terms of Wu-Tang and the squad in general. All right, so let's talk about the value of the Super Bowl as it relates to artists, right? So we know the value in terms of us. What's the value in terms of artists? To begin, let's talk about the history. So Super Bowl first started January 15th, 1967 at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, right? We love We love Los Angeles. The performance was done by Grambling State. So a lot of what was happening at the Super Bowl in its beginning was focused very much on marching bands. So Grambling was there, and so was Arizona, right? So Arizona, Grambling were in the first Super Bowls as the halftime shows. The next one had Judy Garland, right? So young actress, singer, grew up America's sweetheart, right? She was the second person to perform. And then we went back into performances. This one was by Florida A&M as the marching band of choice. So what happened? Why did we end up with mega superstars as performers for the halftime show? Well, listen, I'll let you know. First thing was TVs got into every household. As TVs proliferated in households, more and more people watched. For example, in the 30-minute show that is the halftime show, last year for Super Bowl 56, 208 million people watched. That's a solid number right there, right? And for it, the NFL understanding how integral the Super Bowl halftime show is, they are covering the cost. Now, there are instances with folks like The Weeknd where they are adding money to the budget for the production cost of the NFL. By and large, the NFL isn't paying an artist to perform. They're just covering production, set costs, dancer costs, things like that. If you want something that is above and beyond that high budget that the NFL sets for you, then you can also add more money to your budget, right? I think The Weeknd added something like 7 million. I believe that other artists across the board have added money to the production cost to generate more buzz and to clearly see what their vision is for their Super Bowl halftime show. Let me give you some Billboard numbers to put things in perspective around what the viewership does for an artist. So Billboard estimated that based on views, listens, and downloads of an artist's catalog, here are some numbers that you should understand if you want to understand the impact of the Super Bowl halftime show. When Maroon 5 performed, their catalog research went up by 434%. When Lady Gaga performed, her catalog went up by 100,000%. This is according to Billboard. Now, what's in common for a lot of these artists is actually what I'm going to call the Beyonce factor, okay? So we know that Beyonce killed it in her Super Bowl performances, of which she had 2. And she actually occupies 2 spots on the top 5 most viewed Super Bowl halftime shows ever. She also has worked with everyone in the top 5 most viewed Super Bowl shows ever. So let's talk about who is in the top 5. Number 1 is Shakira and Jennifer Lopez with 260 million views. We have Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar with 154 million views. We have Beyonce, Bruno Mars with 153 million. And we have, of course, Lady Gaga with 75 million, who's tied with Katy Perry for 75 million, right? So that's top 5, right? And in the top 5, Beyonce has worked with everyone in this top 5 category either directly with the artist or with their invited guests. Beautiful thing about the Super Bowl is that there's really cool sponsorship. So Apple has sponsored, Pepsi, of course, is a known sponsor of the Super Bowl. And they're also going to fit some of the bills for the cost of the Super Bowl and what it takes in order to get someone to the point where they are getting as much visibility as possible. Now, I want to talk about what the Super Bowl does for the artist, right? So the Super Bowl can help introduce or reintroduce artists to a widespread audience, meaning if you have a well-placed comeback or if you're running a campaign where you're pushing existing work or new work, the Super Bowl is definitely the way that you walk into your bag. Then there's the commercials, the endorsements, the performances that come after the Super Bowl. There are so many opportunities for an artist. If you get into the Super Bowl, it's like having a Grammy of one. Everyone is focused on you, your dancers, and your invited guests. They are clicking on your catalog and interested in what you had and what you have currently. Now, if you're a Rihanna, not only did you bring a pregnancy announcement, dancers, a really interesting and provocative set that floated, you also brought together your brand deal with a limited edition merch run for the occasion. So there are so many ways that artists benefit from doing a halftime show. Listen, guys, I hope you like my top 5, bottom 5, best week, worst week advertisers for this Super Bowl week. I hope that you have an amazing, amazing Valentine's Day. And I hope you love the information about halftime shows in general and specifically about this lady's halftime show, because Rihanna definitely put on a show specifically as it relates to being a collaboration with her brand and also giving us an awesome pregnancy announcement. I'm Dion Brown. This is Man vs. Brand. I hope you enjoyed my first of hopefully many. Talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.